Some days you get to work with the diamond recovery plant by running material through it, and some days you have to work on it. Today was a day to fix things around here. One thing I want to point out before I show you some of the projects, notice this log retaining wall. This unit has to sit higher because of the discharge that comes out, and you have to allow for slope to go into this lower unit. So about a year and a half ago, I started cutting down a bunch of trees, and I stacked them against this big oak tree for two reasons. The oak gives good shade in the hot summertime, and it also gives support to this log wall. Half of the logs stick out this way, and the other half kind of cantilevered against this oak tree and stick out on the other side. And at this far end, I braced it against this pine tree. So I cut log braces and put in there. So that's just kind of a kicker to keep that log wall from popping out. But that pad needed to be level, and it needed to be higher than this. And it sloped over here naturally to this oak tree, so I just built this log retaining wall and had it filled in 7 dump trucks of red clay gravel to fill it. The project I was working on today, I kept having a problem with when the water runs out of this tub, it would wash away the dirt on this side. So I'd put a whole bunch of big gravel in there and think, oh, that'll hold it. And then the gravel would wash out. So I poured concrete today so that I'll have a concrete waterfall when I run the next time, and it won't keep washing out. I used to be able to walk across on solid ground, and it washed out, and so then I had to get this metal and build a little bridge for walking across, and that works fine, but I was afraid too much of this would wash out. Anyway, I'm happy having the concrete. It took 2 80-pound bags for that project, and then I had other projects today. I poured 8 bags of concrete mix. I'm standing in the settling pond right now. I pumped all the water out of it so that we could have all these tailings dug out, and the excavator has been delivered, and we plan to have it scoop these tailings out and put in a dump truck and haul them off. I had this all pumped out real nice, and then we got a 5-inch rain, and it filled it all the way to the top, so I then had to pump it out again. But anyway, tomorrow the excavator and dump truck should be running. Let me show you some other projects I've been doing. The oversized discharge chute, I put it back on here. It's a plywood chute with 2x6 sides on it, so that the overside rocks will roll down here and land in this storage bin. And when I put it on, I noticed the plywood was showing some wear, and I thought, oh, it'd be great to put some rubber on there. Well, when my old truck kicked the bucket before it was hauled to the salvage yard, I pulled this bed liner out, and it fit perfect on there. I didn't have to cut anything. I just laid it on and screwed it on in a couple of places, and now the oversized rocks will roll down there and right in here. Now I've got a tarp over a bunch of material I have stored here because it's going to be dark soon. That's the west, and the sun is setting, and I have ore stored under here, and it's supposed to rain tonight. Now when the excavator and dump truck's running, we can have them bring more ore and finish filling this ore storage bin. These steps used to be over here on the right side of the plywood, and I took them out and moved them to the left side so we could store more ore in there. And after the rain, I'll take this tarp off, and we can pile a whole lot more ore all the way out here even. But what's nice about it being on plywood with a solid wall, see, that's a log wall with plywood on it. When you scoop, you have something solid to scoop against so you can fill your front bucket all the way up. No sense running and getting a half a load each time. So yesterday, a friend Les Ulrich, a neighbor, of mine here helped me put chains on this. Remember we had trouble with this slipping, and we would have to put sand in here to keep it rolling. Well, this used to be a two-wheel drive truck, let's say, and now it's a four-wheel drive because we put chains on both sides. So a chain came with it from South Africa, this one, but it was too short to make even one run. So we added this much to it so that would work, and I had to buy a 10-foot section of that chain, so that gave me enough chain, less than I could put this on, and ordered the master lengths for putting it together. I had never done it before or seen it done, and he had experience doing it, and he was willing to stop what he was doing and help me put these chains on. So it'll be nice next time we're running to have that work. Let me kick it on a second. The drive chains are tight on the bottom because that's the pulling force, and they sag at the top, and they need to or it'd hit this barrel. But it worked out just perfect. We got two chains the same length. And another project I'm working on is for more ore storage, because the Worthington Diamond Mine is 1,200 feet through there, and so that I don't have to doodle it back and forth with just one scoop at a time, it's good to have a place to store the ore. So again, we have another log retaining wall. Oh, this is what I was talking about. See how this is the natural height of the land, and it sloped down here, and that's why I picked this spot under this oak tree to build this log retaining wall for the upper plant to sit. But anyhow, this is a ore storage bin, and I like it sitting on plywood instead of just dumping it on dirt, because I don't need to be putting grass and junk in the ore to go through the plant. I just want the ore. I don't want any dirt from the yard or anything. So anyway, when the dump truck backs up and piles it here, it'll be pure lamperite. And I need to keep going. I was going to show you a completed project, but I'm running out of daylight today. But I'm going to put another piece of plywood here, and the way I put these together, plywood will bow, and then if you come along with the front end bucket, you'll catch under the plywood, and then you'll be scooping plywood instead of dirt. So what I do, I make pieces like this for stitching it together. This will go under the plywood, and see, this other one will go on top of it, and then you just screw to it, and then it makes an even, just like I did here. They're all matched up and even, and so I've got two more sheets to lay on the ground this way and one more against the wall, and I hope to get that done tomorrow, except we are digging out the settling pond tomorrow, and I think the bulldozer is going to be running, and we'll have a lot going on, but I'll try to get these other projects done. But anyhow, that's kind of what we're doing. Some days you don't get to run the plant. Some days you have to work on it, but it'll make the project better once I get all this ready and going. Thanks for joining me on our Genuine Diamonds in AR YouTube channel, and keep checking back for updates.